Coaches, welcome to the 2025-26 WSYBL kickoff to the season, I guess, if you want to call it that, with me putting this video together. Today is Monday, December 15th, and it is not warm out there. I am chilly as I sit here filming this for you guys, and I always hate talking to a camera. Would much rather be talking to you guys personally, but this is a way that I can get some information out to you guys right away and make sure you guys have what you need moving forward here from my chair as we get ready to move forward into the season for next year and do it this way. But having said that, very quickly just let you know that we do plan on looking at an in-person meeting for next year sometime in later October. So more information on that to come as we get into next year. But for now, we'll do it this way, and I'll get into a little bit more about next steps and what the coordinators will be doing to get a hold of you guys from here and so on and so forth. But again, welcome, especially to you new coaches and new teams for this year. We've grown again, guys. We've grown again. We are up to 337 teams that are going to be participating for 2026, which is 30-ish teams more than we had last year. So again, I am thrilled, guys, in my 8th year of sitting in this chair as commissioner of this league, and so proud and so happy to be able to direct this thing again and be part of this thing moving forward into next year. And thank you again for your participation. I guess I should add in that this is KJ Bigler talking to you guys if you don't know who I am or who the heck is talking to you here, especially if you're new. So welcome aboard, guys. Again, thanks so much for your support and your being part of this thing. I can speak for the board, and we'll get into that in a second too, but to let you know that we are just thrilled with the way things are going, with the way things have evolved, with how we've grown. And again, thanks to you guys for being a part of this thing and continuing to add to that through your organizations. I've got a ton to get into here, guys, so I'm going to try and jump right in and try and keep this video as short as possible. But we do have a lot to share with you guys. And I am doing this video about a month sooner than I normally do to get you the information a little bit sooner, because we do have some new stuff we want you to know about and some things that I think you should know before we even get into mid to end of January, when I normally get this information to you guys. So, okay, let's get into this. We kind of have 3 different areas I want to cover. One is logistics and just some things I can rattle off and make sure you know about, or especially if you're new, some things you need to know. New topics, like I just mentioned, there's some things that, I want to add a little bit more detail to from last year or are new going into 2026. And then from there, just some next steps when it comes to what's happening as we move into the month of January. And from there. So first off, the board, guys. For those of you that don't know, most of you do, we have a coordinator at each age level, U7 all the way through U14. And then we have 2 or 3 other people, UIC, Jeff Standish, who is our arbiter guy and schedules all the umpires and then runs the website. I'm not going to spend any time railing off their names and how long they've been with us and all of that this year. We've just got too much to cover, and you can definitely look at that on the website. But all these guys have been with us for multiple years. The only newbie this year happens to be my brother Jeffrey, who will be joining us at the U8 level this year as our new U8 coordinator. Otherwise, everybody has been with us for a minimum of 2 years, I believe. Some of the guys on the board have been with me for 10 plus years. So it's really cool to have the group of guys that we have helping with this thing. And this is certainly not just me directing the ship here and running this thing. It's all of us. And I think that's what makes our organization strong, is that we have guys that really care about this thing, guys that have been a part of it for a while, that have coached in it and may still coach in it. And are committed to making this league what it is. So just want to give a shout out to them and let you know that they are here for you as well. And you will be hearing from them, if you haven't already, in this next week. as far as a welcome letter, I guess we call it, and some next steps for you, which we'll get into at the end here. But that'll be something that they will be touching base with you on, like I said, if they haven't already. Rule changes, there is not much for this upcoming year in 2026. Um, the rules, guys, are very comprehensive and they're on the website. There's obviously the link there. If you haven't really gone there in a while, or if you're new, take a look at that. We've worked pretty hard. Jeff's done a great job of, we've got 9 pages of stuff there, guys. Everything from, A to Z as far as how this thing works, roster size, um, all the different nuances that take place or happen, and things you need to know when it comes to how the league runs or works, and then obviously the rules that we follow for the league. So please make sure you keep track of that. And take a look at that if you haven't recently. And anything that is new, Jeff typically puts in yellow and puts it right on the front page so you guys can see that very easily if it's anything that has changed from last year. Otherwise, everything is there for you. And of course, the coordinators or myself are there if there's anything that's confusing to you, or for some reason you're finding that there isn't something there, you have a question outside of that. Umpire clinics, I just want to mention those, guys. Wow, out of 3,000 some games we had last year, I think there was less than half a dozen that we did not have an umpire that we could find for a game. And there was a handful of games where there was maybe supposed to be 2 guys and only one was able to be there. But wow, I mean, I think what Bud and Jeff have done as far as how we've been able to find enough umpires for all of these teams that are joining, and all of the games that we're running all summer. I think they've done a phenomenal job. We do run umpire clinics, and we have for 4 years now. I believe we've trained over 250 guys over the last 4 years. Very proud of that, and very proud of what Bud has accomplished in doing so. We continue to run those guys and appreciate your support. And if there's anybody in your community or anybody you think would be interested in doing some umpiring or would be good at it, we go all the way down to age 14 and even some older 13s being trained. And we would encourage you guys to check those out. And they're happening coming up here in the next couple of months. I think February through all the way into next summer, we'll have some different offerings for guys to get trained. And that's really helped us a lot to add new kids and new people to the fold so that we can obviously have enough guys out there to do what needs to be done and cover all these games. And I think you guys would have to agree. I think the umpiring is pretty strong in this league, and I think what we've been able to come up with and what we're doing currently is really working. So I appreciate your support and checking those out online if you guys are interested in those. I do want to mention tournaments really quickly, guys. We do run a line of tournaments. It's not directly through the WSYBL. It's somewhat through Bigler Sports. We're running a lot of them in Pewaukee, which is on turf, so that has increased our costs a little bit, but we really appreciate your support. And if you haven't looked at those, would love to have you do so, as I know you guys are looking at those opportunities here as we get into December. If there's anything we can do, especially if you have multiple teams that want to join us, to help you out with the cost or what we can do to work with you, obviously we want to talk to you, and please contact us if there's any way we can help you guys out when it comes to finding the tournaments that you guys are looking for over the summer. Sportsmanship is something I always have to mention, guys. Excuse me. It's something that was always important to my dad, and something that's very important to me, and I know to most of you guys as well. We are representing our towns, our communities, our organizations when we're out there as coaches, guys. And obviously the kids are watching us and want to make sure, hey, we're all competing. We all play to win out there. I get that. Nobody knows that better than me. I am a guy that you get me in between the lines, I'm gonna compete, guys. But at the same time, we need to remember these are kids. These are young kids, and we're here to serve them. We're here to make them better. We're here to give them opportunities to play. And we need to remember when it comes to how we're handling ourselves, how we're conducting ourselves on the field, in particular, or obviously even in practices or around too, that the kids are always watching. And so I just want to implore you to continue to to do a good job in that area. And I think overall, as far as our league is concerned, you guys really have done a great job when it comes to problems being minimal, with issues coming up in regards to some of the things that can go on, as you guys are well aware of during these games, and when things get a little bit out of hand. So appreciate your consideration there, and you're taking that seriously. Okay, let's get into some new topics, guys, or things that we need you to know moving forward here that are either brand new or somewhat new. First of all, the end of the season tournament. We started that last year for the first time across the board. I thought it went very well, extremely well, really, for our first year of doing it, from 7 through 14. Let me just give you some refreshers quickly, and then a few changes we're going to make as far as that goes for this coming year in 2026. First off, we are going to change the dates or start it a little bit sooner this year. So that's going to be a change. We had about half the league participate last year. We feel like that's going to be a lot more this year. Now that everybody's aware of it, now that everybody knows how it works, everybody's going to have time to bake that into their schedule. This is an opt-in deal, guys. You don't have to do this. This is not something that excuse me again, you are forced to do. You have to let your coordinators know, and more information will be coming down the pike on this. You won't need to let us know until, I think last year it was even like mid-July. I think we're going to bump that up to probably mid to late June, where you're going to have to let us know so we have more time to put everything together. But at the same time, you got plenty of time to bake that into your calendar and your schedule. But how it's going to work is we're going to need you to end your regular season schedules by Friday, July 3rd. Okay. That's going to be about a week to 10 days sooner than we normally would have you guys end your seasons, which again, I'm not thrilled about, but I think it's the right way to go. And based on the calendar and based on how we want this to run or how it will work the best, I think we have to do that. So Friday the 3rd is the last day that we want to see you scheduling a regular season game. We're going to start the tournament on the following Monday, which I believe is the 7th. So everybody will play that is opting in on the 7th of July on that Monday. Obviously, if you win, you will move on and you will play on Thursday. That would be the 10th. And that will give us a few extra days, a little more wiggle room as far as the pitching rules and the weather, playing on that Thursday instead of Wednesday. We're then going to play the championship games the following Tuesday. Okay, so that's going to give us even more time in between the Thursday, the second round-ish, going into the finals, going into the championship round, which would be the following Tuesday. Okay, so that's kind of I don't call it a major change, but what we're going to do this coming year. The other change we're going to make to that championship Tuesday date is we're going to play all the games at a central location. And those costs and those games are going to be taken care of by the league. We are going to pay for the fields. We're going to take care of the baseballs and the amenities. Now, I believe the umpires are still going to get taken care of by you guys. You're going to pay the umps just as you normally do for a regular season game all summer for those games on Monday, Thursday, and Tuesday. But we will take care of the finals and of any costs that are associated with that Tuesday. So that's obviously a change, and I think that'll give us a chance to pass out awards and to add some excitement, and I think make that championship day a little bit more fun. An experience that'll be a little bit different than it was last year, and a little bit more festive. So anxious to see how that works, and excited about that change as well, and how that's going to work when it comes to the end of the season tournament. I would anticipate what we're trying to do is to have an 8-team bracket per division per age level. So A, B, and C would have an 8-team bracket at each level. Now, are we going to have more teams than 8 at each bracket? A, B, and C at each age level? Probably, especially at certain age levels. So how we work through that, and obviously if you're a lower level B team, you might be playing in the C division, or if you're a higher level B team, you might be playing in the A division, depending on, again, how many teams are opting in or how that's going to work logistically. So we obviously as a board, and Adam will certainly help us out a lot with this as he did last year as well, to make sure that we're putting that together that's going to make the most amount of sense. Is it going to be perfect? Is there any exact formula? No, because we do have an opt-in system, and because we don't know exactly how many of each age division or each level are going to be signing up, we'll have to do the best we can and work through your records, work through who you've played, work the system as best we can to put the brackets together that make the most amount of sense. But all the feedback we got last year and how it worked last year, it certainly wasn't perfect, but I think it'll be similar. We'll tweak it a little bit, but I think it really worked out phenomenally well. And we see it going even better this next year, and we're very excited about that whole concept and how we're kind of ending the season with that, going into that first full week in July. Okay, enough about that. Secondly, we are going to start a Brewer Game fundraiser this year, guys, that we're very excited about as well. It's kind of a win-win, we feel, because it's going to give you guys a chance to get together with your teams before the season starts. And it's also going to give us a chance to be with you guys or meet you guys or be at the game with you guys and have kind of an event before the season starts for us. And there's a few bucks that's going to go back to the league based on us doing this, working with the Brewers and putting this together. So very excited to see how this is going to work. I know this year is going to be a little bit tough for us and for you guys because we're getting this out now, but we're needing to know in the next 6 to 8 to 10 weeks if you're going to join us or not, because obviously we have to make plans certainly several months ahead of time as far as the tickets go, and with the ring, which I'll talk about in a second here, how we're going to work that. So the game is going to take place on Friday, April 10th. Friday, April 10th. Now, I know that most of you, if not all of you, hopefully should have gotten an email from Kelly that gave you some of the logistics, or a lot of you guys know about this already. But I'm going to have the coordinators reiterating it. I'm going to get a handful more emails out between now and into January about it, because I really want to make sure you guys at least give this some thought, or hopefully are able to put this on your radar. We've already got a handful of teams signed up and excited about it and on board with it. I know it's early. I know this is new, so it's going to be a little tricky trying to get the word out or trying to get this going this first year. But we're certainly hoping to have hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 of you joining us on Friday the 10th for this game. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The way this is going to work is you're going to have a couple of different ticket options. I believe one is about $28 and the other one is, I think, 34 or 35 as far as where you're going to be seated. Obviously, as a team, you're going to be seated together. When you sign up, when you click the link, it's going to ask you what age, your coach's name. So we're going to get the information that we need to clamp you guys together. So if grandma and grandpa or aunts and uncles or people want to come, we're obviously going to put you guys together. If they're 18 and under, they're going to get a Jackson Cheerio ring. And if you guys have been in our tournaments at all, the ring, I unfortunately don't have an actual Cheerio ring. I think we've sent you guys a picture of it, but this is a can of corn ring. But this thing is heavy and it's fairly substantial. It's a nice size. It's really a nice piece of hardware. It's really a nice memento, and I'm really excited about what we're going to do with that and be able to offer that to the kids 18 and under as part of the ticket package, as part of what you guys are paying to go. So I think it's going to be a really nice opportunity for you guys to get your teams together, to have kind of an event, a kickoff event, if you will, before the season starts, to support the Brewers, to support the league, and for the kids to get a nice Jackson Cheerio memento at the same time. So I think it's a win-win-win all the way around, guys. And no matter when we schedule this, there's conflicts, there's things going on. It's tough to get everybody together. But we think this is the best time of year to run it, and the best opportunity for us to do something like this and be able to offer it. So really, again, appreciate you guys giving that some thought, seeing if you can make that work, seeing if you can join us, and trying to make that a yearly, annual thing that can, again, help you guys possibly do something and help you organize it before the season starts, but also help the league and support the Brewers as well. Okay, the last change would be when it comes to the registration form, guys, we probably haven't changed that in forever 10, 12, 15, 20 years, who knows. So we're going to be tweaking that form that we want you guys to make sure all the parents are signing off on. We're going to be adding a little bit more jargon to it. And we're also going to have Kelly sending that to you guys to send to your parents so that they can get that filled out and sent back to her. I think, again, it's going to be a win-win because hopefully you guys won't have to run around collecting sheets and getting those to your coordinator. It's going to go straight to your parents. Once you guys get it, all you got to do is forward it to them. Once we get your rosters, obviously we'll make sure everybody checks in and has signed off on that. So from an insurance perspective and standpoint, we have that all taken care of. Everybody has agreed to the code of conduct and all the terms that we want them to. And you guys actually have to do less work, and the coordinators do as well. So I think it's a real win-win to do that as well. So you're probably going to be seeing that sometime soon from Kelly. Again, there'll probably be a date on there. We're looking for that to get back to us, but it's not super rushed or imperative, especially this year because we're making that change to get that back from you. But that's again going to be, I think, a win-win to have that be what we need it to be and make it easier on you guys, make it easier on us to make sure that we grab that from you. Okay, so kind of finishing up here with next steps or kind of where we go from here, guys. Today's December 15th. You'll probably get this in the next 2 to 3 to 5 days, going into Christmas here. But first off, like I mentioned, you should be getting something from your coordinator if you haven't already. And I would say once you get this, if you still haven't gotten it or into next week before Christmas, make sure you reach out to me and let me know. But I'm very sure that all the guys are going to be getting something to you, so in the next couple of weeks here what's going to be happening. Next step from there would be the scheduling process, right? And some of you guys have reached out to me about that already. We are going to, and I apologize, we maybe haven't done this for a number of years past already. We've been doing it in a way that has you guys all doing it at the same time, right? Which I think is the right way and the fair way to do it. So we release it to all the divisions and all the age groups at the same time. This year we're making sure we're doing it on a Saturday because we do release it in the morning, and obviously if you guys are working, some people have the advantage of working from home or being able to schedule right away, where some of you are working all day and you can't get to that right away. So this year we're doing it on Saturday, January 3rd. Happens to be, we usually did it on the 2nd, so it's only one day later, but it's on a Saturday. So Saturday morning, January 3rd, you guys will be getting all of your information when it comes to who's in your division, all of the coach's contact information, so that you can start scheduling your games on Saturday the 3rd. I know a lot of you are very good about getting on that right away and getting a lot of your games scheduled within a handful of days. Please get after it right away if you can, and I think it behooves you to do so. We want you to get that home schedule done as quickly as possible. And the sooner you can get that to us and get it to Jeff so we can start scheduling umpires, that's certainly the goal. We've always asked to get it from you by the end of January, and I think we're still going that route or asking for it then. But if you can get it to us sooner, please do, because the sooner you can get that completed home schedule, not your whole schedule, just your home schedule. And again, that information will be on the welcome letter or will be coming from your coordinator as to how that'll work and what you're going to do to get that to Jeff, so that he can start plugging it in. So that's going to be the next really important step, is to grab that information on the 3rd, to get the schedule done, to get the home schedule to Jeff. Now, I know some of you have a problem getting a home field because you're going through your community, because you're going through an entity that the city or you're being held up and you don't have a choice, and it's a problem. And I know there's always a handful of teams in that boat, and I feel for you guys, and I know that there's not much you can do about it. So all I can ask is that you do the best you can, that you continue to work with whoever is controlling the field maybe that you're using for your home games, to do the best you can to try and get that information out to the rest of the teams, to the rest of your division, so that everybody can get their schedules done. Please let your coordinators know, and if it has to be me as well, that's fine. If you're really having trouble as far as getting a home field or getting the information you need, I know it does hold up some of the coaches in your own divisions to getting their schedules done if you're not able to get them the dates that you're available, and it kind of becomes a big cluster at times, right? So again, I understand what you guys go through at times, but do the best you can to continue to really spend the time working at that and getting those things done as quickly as possible. And I will tell you, and again, I feel bad saying this because sometimes it really isn't your guys' fault that you're being held up, like I said, because of the fields that you have no control over. But the longer you guys wait to get us that home schedule, the harder it is for us to get umpires for you. I've had teams not getting us their home schedules until March, maybe at times, and that's again holding us up from making sure that your games get covered, because a lot of these umpires are obviously looking for this information right away in mid to end of January into February. So um, I understand, guys, what we all go through, but just want to make sure I put a lot of emphasis on that you guys do whatever you can on your end to make sure that we're getting this stuff taken care of in a timely fashion. Because again, umpires, I think as much as we've been able to add guys and as much as we've been able to cover games as we have the last few years, there's still a shortage, right? There's still issues when it comes to finding enough when it comes to the number of games that are going on out there, especially in the spring. As you guys obviously know, you got the high schools, you got softball going on, and a lot of umpires being taken for that. And as we get our league rolling, there's definitely a crunch early on in the season for sure. I will say that one other thing I may have forgotten, with us moving up the season a week and ending on the 3rd, we are asking that you guys consider scheduling games a little bit sooner this year if possible. I know a lot of you like to wait until that first week in May to get rolling. And I totally understand that. The weather is the weather. If you're able to get a field with turf, or you are able to get a couple of games in April, that certainly helps to get all your games in before we get to that July 3rd date. As you know, we need you to try and get in all the games -2. Certainly want you to play them all. We don't want you to use that and just make sure you get them all -2, but you get them all in if possible. But to win the division, we do ask that or need you to make sure if you're playing 16 games, you get 14 games in. We are making every effort to keep every division between 14 and 16 games. I have worked with Adam and a lot of the coordinators on these already. They're certainly not done yet, but they're pretty close. And there are going to be a couple that might be at 17 or 18. I can guarantee you that there will be nobody playing more than 18 games this year. We did have some at 20 last year. But with the expansion of the league and with the number of teams at some of these divisions, it's almost impossible to get less than that. As creative as we're trying to get and make the divisions and make everything make sense, there will be a couple in that 17 to 18 range, but otherwise everybody's going to be between 14 and 16. There might even be a couple at 12, but we're doing the best we can to keep it in that number so that you guys can realistically get those games in before we hit that July 3rd date and then go from there. So that's a lot of information, guys. I think this probably went longer than I wanted it to, but I had a lot to get out to you guys this year. I appreciate you listening to this whole thing and getting this information. There'll certainly be more coming your way through the coordinators and through myself, typically via email, over the next 6 to 8 weeks. But I think you guys have everything that you need for now. As always, if you need to reach out to me at any time, and all the emails and phone numbers for the various board members are all on that website, guys, are all on the contact us page. So if you need to be reaching out as we get closer here, please do. I'm a big believer in communication and over communicating. If anything, I certainly try to, because that's really the key to making sure we're all on the same page. So we certainly want to make sure we're doing that with you guys. But as always, appreciate all your support. all of your involvement when it comes to everything that we do here, and supporting the league that you have in the past and the growth that we're having. Just thrilled the way this is going, guys, and for what we have and what we're looking at doing into next year and beyond. So look forward to getting going here, guys, and look forward to getting to some warmer weather, that's for sure. I want to wish you guys all a very, very Merry Christmas, and hope you guys have a wonderful season here coming up with family and friends, and a Happy New Year as we get into the 2026 calendar year. So thank you again. God bless, and look forward to serving you guys in the new year coming up here very soon. Thank you much.